I'll just start recording now before we're even ready to do anything so that I can start showing this off a little bit.
This seems like a bad idea.
Well, I want to show people what we're accomplishing and that we are actually working on this still. So, we have realized that we're never going to be able to do this in any sane, rational time frame by looking for screwed up buildings. And so we have begun our own screwing up of buildings.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, some of them are a little more coherent than others. Some of them, like what I've been putting in, are just kind of spanning almost entire sides of this. Or if you look at some of the ones, Chris has been working on, then they're just actual neat-looking, completely coherent buildings that are, neat-looking. Mine are just like, let's see what happens if I slam these two into each other at 88 miles an hour.
Look, I'm not going to say that one approach is better than the other, because they both really have merit.
Yeah. I produce a lot of fucked up shit. You produce shit that would actually work.
Yeah, just, differences in our thought processes.
So I figured I'd just give a slight show of what this looks like, because while there's a lot of stuff spread around, oh man, I don't even know how much we have to go, but it's probably too much.
Yeah.
So I figured I could also, damn it. Just toggling the downfall.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna try and show an example of how what we've been doing works.
Yes, this will be great, with no practice after we've had, like, a week off.
Exactly. That's the best time. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the lava. We've had to, you have to be very careful with lava and moving things with lava. Considering,
Lava.
you don't know what's going to happen when you put it in. That's what she said. Alright, so, now if I remember this, copy. Then I'll / cut to make sure it copied properly. Yeah. Undo. So, I now have that building. Now, we have been using, I have at least been using larger segments of buildings for this. So it's been a little bit easier. And then we find somewhere where, or I find somewhere where I think there should be a joining. And paste -A. Okay, that was behind me.
Then you probably need to adjust.
Okay, it's 180 degrees.
Yes, James, that's half a circle.
Yes, I'm just making sure, considering the last time we did this, I kept...
Yeah, I know, 120.
Yeah. Alright. I don't like that position at all. So
The 120 and 240 is where you put your hands on a steering wheel.
Yes. Wait. It would help if I knew anything about driving. Alright, so there we go. That's there now. But, and it's pretty much just flying around and deciding on where something looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So, like here, I could drop one here. But I want to rotate that again so that it'll... Alright. Paste, not Pepe. What the hell?
There was a Mexican restaurant in the Chicago suburbs when I was a kid called that. Pepe's.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually pretty good. Although the last time I was up that way, the last time I was in the area of one and ate there, it was not the same, and that was itself probably 11, 12 years ago, so I'm sure by now it's either not there at all anymore or completely unrecognizable.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of regretted that. I was up in the vicinity of Chicago last summer, but, like, my timetables and everything were so tight I couldn't actually get back around to the areas that I, like, grew up in.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I didn't really care about seeing my family up there at all, so that wasn't an issue. It was just like, it would have been nice to go see the old neighborhoods.
Yeah. I mean, there's, well, yeah, I personally could not give less of two fucks about, you know, seeing people from here that I haven't seen in years, but there's a few restaurants I'd like to go to, and I actually still live here.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Oh, hey, there's some lava reservoirs we never drained.
well, as long as nothing bursts into flames.
I should get those and pile them around the mountain.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And we could do it by hand, but it's kind of fun to do it the other way as well. It just takes infinitely longer. No, but I had a really weird, surreal moment, which I babbled about a lot in another video, but
I probably didn't see that, though, so...
random lag spike.
Cause I'm ashamed to admit I haven't been watching the Fallout videos at all.
Well, it's not the style of game you're interested in.
This is very true.
But I was,
Is this natural, or did I do this at some point?
I was actually very surprised, ended up getting in contact with my one childhood friend who I have had, or who I had in the past had, many insane adventures with. You know, my friend Dave, who I learned has moved the hell out of, yeah, well, I knew he had moved the hell out of Maryland, and good for him. Moreover, he moved the hell out of Baltimore City, and that's even better. But it turns out that what he has done is this guy who was, you know, like me, really heavily into martial arts, really, you know, he was way better at it than I was, honestly. But he was an amazing, like, musical prodigy. He could play any fucking thing you handed him. Like, I remember he bought a violin at a yard sale and learned how to play it one afternoon when he was bored. Like, that, not even like, I can play Turkey in the Straw. Just like, hey, this is a Beethoven piece I just worked out. And, you know, he, martial arts, he was an electrician's apprentice. He was a bunch of other shit. Moved to Texas. Found out, dude now works in industrial quilting.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last sentence?
Industrial quilting.
That's what I thought you said.
He works at a women's quilting retreat. And he owns like 7 or 8 industrial grade quilting machines that he is now looking to open his own quilting business with. He outputs like, I think he said 500,000 quilts a year using, you know, the machines, which apparently he built himself.
Of course, I mean, you know.
I mean, well, he built them out of parts and so on and so forth. It's not like he invented a quilting machine, but...
No, but I mean, he could have MacGyvered one.
Well, that's essentially what he did. I think he basically MacGyvered a whole set of them. And he was just... It was exactly the same thing I have said over and over, which is, yeah, it's really boring. I work with I deal with a lot of old women all the time. I don't really go out and do anything. I don't drink. I don't, you know, go to loud rock and roll shows. I don't get into fights with people randomly anymore on the street. I haven't had anyone pull a knife on me in like 9 years. I love it. I'm like, I'm glad it's not just me. It's the, you know, like I kept telling people, you know, it's growing up here makes you love the boring.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he just, you know, I was like, yeah, I love it. I don't have to, you know, shit doesn't go wrong randomly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't randomly, like, you know what I need to do? Jump behind this car to avoid those guys. Never's happened. You know, just never randomly thought, I might die today in like 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's great, isn't it? It's like, yeah, I love it. I do nothing. I don't get in any exciting adventures that could easily be a, you know, fucking Kevin Smith movie plotline. But I was just like, well, it's nice that I'm not the only person who feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, part of growing up in fucking Baltimore City. Whereas, I've tried to explain to people several times over, and they don't seem to get it. It's like, it's just Hamilton. That's the part of Baltimore where I live. There's nothing that can be said about it that isn't just, be prepared to...
Die?
Well, not so much anymore, thankfully.
Mm.
That wasn't what I intended to do at all. How'd that happen?
I don't know. What'd you do?
Oh, alright. I probably set position 1 twice, didn't I? No,
Did you copy one block?
No, I copied several thousand, or tens of thousand blocks.
Oh.
But, but yes, that was just a, life is boring. I love boring life. I'm like, I know, life is boring. Let us talk about how boring our lives are together. But that was just, yeah, like I said, it was one of those moments of pure validation. It was like, yeah, I don't like things and excitement. Like, I know, me neither. Alright, time to start looking around for somewhere to cram these things.
That's what she said?
'Cause we don't... I mean, I found an usefully positioned pair of buildings that looked like they could make an interesting, clusterfuck if I, cram other things into them.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta find... Right now. What position? Oh god, I'm inside the building. Why? Alright.
Good job.
Alright. Alright. This is good. Now I've got to find something to wedge through them. But first, let me look around and place a few more of these in various positions. And it doesn't really matter if I turn them around because they're almost perfectly, what's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical.
Mm.
Oh, but... boring... I don't think people truly understand how magical boring is.
Until it's not boring.
Yeah. Like, chaos is fun for a while. Until it is not. And that is usually when everything is going wrong all at once. And you have no idea why or how to stop it.
Yeah, I believe that's the definition of chaos.
Mm-hmm. Here, but, there we go. Alright, so, yeah, this is just what we're doing in the meanwhile with the building and the Glaven.
Mm-hmm.
It's, very boring work, which is why you probably aren't going to see very much of it.
I feel like I messed something up here. Oh, yes, I did.
There's a lot of space up here. The nice thing about this particular building, or this particular block of buildings, is that they are so generically,
Generic.
I can probably put 1,000 of them in, and once we're done, it won't be recognizable.
Good.
So, that's the nice... It's nice to find an all-purpose Lego.
Yes, that's always, a thing.
This is one of the areas you're carefully building buildings.
I don't really think it matters that much.
Alright. Let me wedge this somewhere.
It all has to get filled.
Yeah. That's what she said. Oh, damn it. I rotated that 90 again, so I've got to rotate it 3 times to make it back to where I wanted it.
You can use negative numbers.
Yeah, I'm more expecting that if I did that, I'd destroy everything.
Would be entertaining at least.
Well, yeah, but if I wanted to be entertaining, I wouldn't be doing this.
What would you be doing?
I don't know. Fighting a shark?
Okay, Fonzie.
Oh no, he just jumped a shark.
Mm.
I mean, like, I'd want to punch a shark in the face. I want to punch a shark in the face anyway, but, like, you know, sometimes you gotta, I don't know, punch a shark. Alright, so I lost that train of thought and where it was going. But, alright, that's a good place to call this episode, so I'll do that.